You ever watch a moment so shocking, so impossible, that it forces you to question everything you thought you knew about basketball? Because what Stephen Curry is doing right now at almost 38 years old is not just rare, it's rewriting the rules of how long greatness is supposed to last. And today, we need to talk about how a man who should be slowing down is instead tearing apart NBA defenses like he's back in his unanimous MVP season. Before we dive deep into how Steph is defying aging, bending defenses, and performing at a level no point guard his age has ever touched, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any Warriors updates. Let's get into this because Dub Nation, what we're witnessing is beyond special. When you watch Steph Curry today, you don't see a star fading into the background. You don't see a veteran surviving on name value. You see fear. Not from him, never from him, but from the guys trying to guard him. Younger defenders, players in their primes, top-tier athletes with fresh legs, all doing the exact same thing, panicking the moment he crosses half-court. They pick him up immediately, smother him, chase him off screens like their careers depend on it. And the craziest part? Sometimes he doesn't even have the ball. That's how much gravity he has. Just his presence forces an entire defense to shift, to stretch, to break its own structure. There's not another point guard in history, not Magic, not Isaiah, not Stockton, who has ever commanded defensive attention like this at his age. And this is the part where perspective becomes really important. Think about every legendary point guard you've ever respected. By 38, almost all of them were retired, declining, or hanging on with limited roles. But Curry, he is still the centerpiece of an NBA franchise. He is still the #1 target on every scouting report. He is still dropping numbers that belong to the prime years of a superstar, not the twilight years. This man just tied Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games by a player over 30. Think about that. We're talking about the greatest scorer of all time, the face of competitive greatness, and Curry is matching him while approaching 40. And the thing that makes Steph's longevity so fascinating is that there's nothing accidental about it. Nothing lucky. Nothing random. His entire playing style was built, maybe without him even realizing it, for long-term dominance. It's the way he moves, clean, smooth, economical. He never relies on brute force or high-impact collisions. His footwork is light. His joints don't take the same punishment other stars deal with. Most guards decline because their bodies slow down, their explosiveness drops, their athletic edge disappears. But Curry's superpower was never raw athleticism. It was intelligence, timing, precision, rhythm, and shooting mechanics that look like they were engineered in a lab. You watch his biomechanics and it becomes obvious why he's aging differently. Every cut, every change of direction, every jumper is controlled and efficient. That's why he doesn't break down. That's why he still moves like someone 5, 6, 7 years younger. And his game isn't built on things that disappear with age. A 38-year-old Curry with the same IQ, the same off-ball mastery, the same vision, is still an elite player even if he loses a step. The magic is that he hasn't lost that step. But it's not just physical. His mind is sharper now than it has ever been. He sees defensive coverages before they develop. He reads traps instantly. He manipulates defenders off the ball like a puppeteer controlling strings. And when you combine that evolving basketball mind with the greatest shooting skill the sport has ever seen, you get a player who can dominate games without relying on a single explosive dunk. He controls the entire floor with decision-making and feel. Here's the part fans don't always see. Steph Curry is probably the most disciplined superstar in the league. Younger players on the Warriors say he routinely outworks guys in their 20s. Veterans say they've never seen anything like his routine. His diet, his recovery schedule, his conditioning, the way he treats every detail like it matters, that's why he's still here. That's why he's still playing at an MVP level. The long nights in the gym, the structured workouts, the constant adjustments to protect his body from age, all of that is intentional. Most players say they work hard. Steph actually lives it. That's why even Warriors ownership openly admits they never expected him to still be playing like this a decade after he became the first unanimous MVP in history. And the impact on the team is enormous. When your leader is almost 38 and still dominating like this, still crushing younger players, still chasing perfection, the rest of the roster feels that standard. They respect it. They follow it. You can see it in the energy of the young guys. You can see it in how seriously they take training camp. You can see it in how much they admire him. Steph is not just a superstar, he's the blueprint of how to be great for a long time. But here is the bigger truth. Steph Curry isn't just playing well for his age. He is fundamentally changing the conversation about aging in basketball. We've seen tall players last longer. We've seen bigs age well because size never goes away. But a 6'3" guard without elite athleticism? That should not be possible. Not like this. Not at this level. Guards are supposed to fade earlier. They're supposed to lose their advantage when their speed dips. Yet Curry is proving that if your game is built on skill, discipline, shooting, and intelligence, you can stretch your prime far beyond what anyone believed before. And that's why this story isn't just about stats. It's about defying every expectation the league has ever had for a point guard. The way he continues to bend defenses, the way he continues to hit shots that make crowds gasp, the way he still controls tempo and momentum, it's all unprecedented. Nobody has ever done this. Nobody has ever been this good, this late, while still being the first option, the primary engine, the relentless force teams fear the most. You watch Steph Curry today, and it feels like you're watching history happen in real time. You're watching a player who refuses to follow the rules of decline. You're watching someone who spent years perfecting his craft so deeply, so obsessively, that age is simply another challenge for him to solve. And he's solving it better than anyone has ever solved it before. And this is where Dub Nation comes in. Moments like these are why this franchise has become one of the great dynasties of the modern era. Because greatness never stopped. Because the culture never changed. Because Steph never allowed himself to become anything less than elite. This isn't nostalgia. This isn't respect for a legend winding down. This is present-tense dominance. This is the face of the franchise, still humiliating defenders half his age, still dropping bombs from 35 feet, still running defenders off screens until they collapse. This is a man who refuses to fade. So if you're watching this video right now, understand this clearly. We are living inside a moment the NBA will talk about forever. Steph Curry at 37, still performing like this, still carrying a team, still breaking expectations, is not normal. It is the definition of greatness. It is the definition of longevity. And one day, when people ask how a point guard changed basketball, they won't just talk about the threes. They'll talk about the fact that he beat time itself. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more Warriors content, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. This is your Golden State Warriors channel, and we're here every day covering the greatness in front of us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And here's the key takeaway from the channel. Delve into financial education to enhance your quality of life. Within the financial market, explore bonds and shares, particularly focusing on real estate investment trusts, which offer the potential for passive income. Engage with this responsibly and consider reputable investment brokerages worldwide.